What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The one boar in your base action. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. I lied, there's two boars in the base. His name is the Rapple. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. The god with a hammer in search of a nail. Yes, Loki. Anyways, his name is Tunison. The map is Ghost Lake. And I'm just marveling at the textures right here. I don't know why. I very rarely look at it, but the textures in Age of Mythology, they just look so nice. Lots of effort went into this game. Like, it just looks beautiful. Like, if you were to seriously ask, if you thought, like, what year that you thought this game was made, I think a lot of people would have said, like, just out of I reckon a lot of people would say it. I guess if you look at the Ulfsark, the head's kind of, I don't know what I'm doing right now. We're watching Age of Mythology. Anyways, so we've got a Loki matchup versus Isis matchup here. So Loki, very, very strong against Isis, is what Isis would normally do. But Isis has also got other options. So what I mean, what Isis normally does, Isis loves to do like fast heroic Ancestors Eclipse, which Ancestors are a myth unit, which means Loki is more than happy to deal with Ancestors Eclipse. However, because of the first circle, Thane's Hearse, and everything else. But Isis can also classical fight. Isis can also do early priest shenanigans. Isis can do Hathor as an option as well, which is also really, really strong. So we'll have to wait and see what Rapple's going to go for in this game, and what sort of pressure Tunison's going to be under here to come up with strategies that work for him to win this game. Now, he hasn't yet found his caribou. Right over here. Those caribou are really, really far. I do feel like sometimes I feel this way. But sometimes I feel like Ghost Lake is it's not the best of maps. And the thing is, the way in which you want to be classifying what a good map is the chance of a good game occurring. And what that means is well, I mean, it depends on what you think a good game is. But, like, if a game can be over in 5 minutes without any real new innovation or anything, nothing exciting really happens, it's just the game is over, then said game is not good. Said map is not good, because that map allows that thing to happen. This map here on Ghost Lake, why I'm saying it normally isn't the best of maps is because the hunt is so bizarrely positioned that if you don't scout it fast, you can be in a really, really rough position. Now, we're going to move over here and hope that Tunison has scouted it, and he has not scouted it, and we can already say Tunison is very sad right now. Technically speaking, the hunt could have been up here. So running just into the blackness over onto this position here was not a way forward. But he does find the hunt, and Tunison will have to be thinking, what next? He's actually got the second temple coming up over here, wanting to put pressure over on this location. And we do have someone in the chat saying Ghost Lake. Didn't I say Ghost Lake is one of my favorite maps? Yes, I did. I used to believe this map was really, really good. But the more and more I play it, the more and more I feel like it's actually not one of my favorite maps anymore. I feel like there's a lot of better maps out there. And this one is, yeah, it's a little bit, if you know what I mean, just a little bit. I don't have to say any more than a little bit, and you guys get it. As the villagers are going to start moving across here. And here's the thing. Rapple hasn't found Tunison's gold here. But Rapple could have, because he found his hunt early, had he done a build order that much, much more geared towards putting pressure onto the Loki hunt here, he could have had 5 or 6 priests out with the Pharaoh, wandering over to that hunt and winning this game in 6 minutes. But He didn't do that. And he's getting a whole lot of gold here, so he might be going for a town center. It looks like he is. As the Hersa coming in onto this position now, as the villagers have to retreat back. And this is a pretty bold play here from Rapple. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I also think it's a bold play because Rapple basically is going to grab this town center. He's not really going to be able to afford axemen straight away, and he's been pushed off his hunt. I think I wouldn't have minded a barracks, a couple of axemen, and then the town center, but he's in a bit of a trouble here as the Hersa are moving forward. Tunison on the other side here, enjoying the rest of these caribou here. As the longhouse comes down on the front here, raiding cavalry going to be moving in as the village is getting pushed back, and Rapple has been pushed off his hunt. Well and truly here, as now farms are going to start coming down. The priest does end up getting taken out on this position, and Rapple is going to be in for it here. Tunison has now, Tunison's advanced late for Loki, but advancing late with Loki is not the worst thing in the world. But here's the thing for Rapple. He's got only a handful of goats here. Tunison here has got plenty of goats in his base. 11 here. We do see the Sphinx moving through here, going to be looking for some villagers harassed. But he's got this hunt here. He's got the berries here. He's got this over here. So one town center plays here are going to be really, really tough for Rapple to deal with. You'd have to expect. Did Rapple manage to get himself pickaxe in this game? No, he hasn't got pickaxe. Oh, I told a lie. It's not 4 goats. He's got 6 goats. He's got 6 goats. So it's not that bad. Anyways, villagers pushed off of this location here. We'll see what Tunison can muster as he continues producing units. He's going raiding cavalry, throwing axemen, and Hersa. This makes a lot of sense because you look at this map and you go, technically, what can the Isis do here? And the answer, in all honesty, is not a whole lot. The Isis has to farm in these positions. So that means Isis needs to build barracks, which means that as we followed the logic, throwing axemen are going to be really, really good to deal with spearmen, to deal with axemen. As we do see those barracks getting dropped down now for Rapple. Very, very late here, but he's dropped them down nonetheless. I think he's realizing that he's going to be in for a very difficult time here moving forward. As this mining camp getting taken down, Rapple decides to delete said mining camp. And Tunison here, he's very low on the resources. He's spending his resources nicely, but he's not yet decided to put pressure on him. The question is, when do you decide to attack? Because I feel like you've got to go after this town center at some point here. You built all these units for a reason. What's the reason? What is the reason? He's not gotten himself any Hall of Thanes here. 6 villagers on wood over here as well. The villager's just about to finish up on this position here. Rapple's Sphinx. Was it picked off? Looks like Rapple lost his Sphinx somewhere. No, it's still alive. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Rapple didn't try and find Tunison's hunt here. Obviously that's a good place to go as the army is now marching towards Rapple's town center. And Rapple basically just has to bail on this one. He just has to say, no worries, you kill that town center. I'm going to get a couple of picks with his arrow fire, but this town center is gone. And he's had it for maybe, I'd say 3 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes and a bit. So he's gotten himself something in the order of 12 villages out of it. Maybe 15 villages out of it. So it's a significant advantage over what Tunison's got, but he's spent a lot of resources and time building this one up. So things are equal, but not equal here. As the town center falls, a whole bunch of units do end up dying for Tunison, but he gets the town center kill here. And Rapple here, he's in for a very difficult time to defend. He's got himself 11 farms here. He's not producing any units. And what will Tunison do as he's starting to march towards Rapple's base? He's in a really, really difficult position here. As the villagers have to pull back, and it looks like, I think that he's going to try. Rapple has produced 1 or 2 too many wooden wall segments here, according to tournament rules. But this is this is why tournament rules are tournament rules, because it's like next to impossible to actually take this tower down, which really forces some pretty silly play to be possible here. The Rapple now, he's managed to click up through Nephthys. Still only 47 population. How many Hursa are here are the big question for Tunison. He's got himself 9 Hursa. So Ancestors Eclipse is really not going to do a whole lot. But one thing that Rapple can do is actually Ancestors Eclipse Tunison's home base here. If he attacks Tunison's home base with Ancestors Eclipse, he could potentially kill off the hometown center. As the Pharaoh starting to get taken down, Rapple's still trying to defend here, but I mean, he's got nothing. He's in real big trouble here. As the army going to decide to start targeting down this town center here. Rapple here can start repairing this one back up. Villagers getting pulled off of the town center here as well, as they're going to start shanking down these raiding cavalry. But as the army gets closer and closer to falling, Ancestors Eclipse will be able to hold here for Rapple. And we'll see how things are going to go. As Ancestors Eclipse, or as the Heroic Age does hit. Remember, Rapple has got that extra villager advantage, so he can simply put just continue to trade villagers for some time here in this game, as the army has to retreat back. Ancestors Eclipse is down. Most of the Hursa were picked off. The Aini are pushing forward here. Alrighty, Thrown Axeman getting taken out on this position just a little bit here as well. And we'll see if Rapple can bounce back or Tunison can bounce back as well here. Big challenge moving forward for Tunison. But the thing is, Rapple's gold will start expiring soon. He's only got 1,200 gold left in this gold mine. He's got 900 gold left in that gold mine over there. So he needs to make some units here. He needs to start making some chariot archers and everything else here. There's a market coming down for Rapple as well. There is a world here where just going Mythic Age through Osiris is actually a really nice way to play this. Obviously, the other way is you just get the market and you just trade resources if you need so. But we are seeing some camelry coming out here for Rapple. I don't really recommend camelry as Isis and Set anymore. They don't seem to be that useful against kind of anything. It's almost much better to go spearmen, chariot archers. Maybe the only time you want to build camelry, and maybe it's a maybe is if your opponent is making like Hippocon, Toxote. But even then, probably they're probably not good enough to win that fight either. They just seem so absurdly weak if you're not Ra. And with Ra, they seem really strong, obviously. But that's how it should be, right? There's Tunison pulling back. Rapple here, getting closer and closer to that next stage. Siege works coming down as well. Tunison's economy hasn't really been hit here. So even though the score is currently in favor of Rapple, Tunison, he's actually kind of in a good position. Funnily enough, his full population, which is a slight mistake in my opinion, stayed just a little bit below full population in these situations to continue building villages. But he's going to be able to hit Heroic Age here really shortly, as the raiding cavalry coming in behind this army, trying to get onto those chariot archers over here. We'll see if Tunison can win these fights here. He does have himself Hall of Thanes. Valkyrie spawn here as well, as the Scorpion Man here is going to start getting targeted down. As the Valkyrie here will start getting taken out. The troll getting taken out as well. As the villagers going to move forward for Rapple, but I think he has to pull back here. Does he have gold left in his base? He does still have that other gold mine here. Opting not to mine at 800 gold there wouldn't have been a bad idea, but now the villagers have to turn around and start fighting this here as another Valkyrie coming in, and there's no heroes left remaining for Rapple as he gets up his town center. It's really, really close, and Tunison here is not able to stop it there. As Rapple gets his town center up, Tunison has to retreat back, and it looks like Tunison, he's got 5 military buildings here, and he has managed to click up through Bragi. He will have to retreat back and wait it out here for the time being. There's a longhouse going to be coming down here. As now Rapple's got himself out some axemen here. These Hersa are going to start being much, much weaker. The chariot archer attacking as well. I think Tunison has pulled the trigger just a little bit early here. If he retreats, he pulls back, comes back with the full army to take out Rapple in, I don't know, like in like the minute that it takes to get up to the heroic age. He would have absolutely destroyed this Rapple army and been able to completely destroy all of those villages as well. But he's trying to trade here and wait it out. He will have a ton of battle bore to produce here, sitting at 100 favor at this point as well. That's going to be a really, really big deal as the army of Rapple does get picked off. Flaming weapons getting clicked as Rapple retreats back. A bit of a mistake here for Tunison. He tries to put the ghost building down. He's not able to do so. He's going to get a couple of villager kills here as he's trying to block this one off. The retreat path has been blocked off nicely here though for Tunison as he's starting to produce those battle boars as fast as he possibly can. The favor is getting shot up though. He doesn't have the gold in the bank just yet. It wouldn't be a bad idea to put villagers onto gold mines here either. At this point, where are all the dwarves? It looks like Rapple, Tunison, who doesn't have a whole bunch of dwarves left, as this town center is getting taken down for the second time in this game. But Rapple at this point now is 0 gold remaining. He's moving over onto the other side of the map here, it seems, moving on to this gold mine first, trying to rebuild all of his units here, get back up the population. He needs priests out. He needs, what's it called? The one that goes like this? The funeral rites. He needs funeral rites as well here to deal with these battle ball. We'll see how it's going to go as Tunison is full population. He's got the dwarf economy going with 22 villages on gold at this moment. A couple of villages over there. He does manage to pull those villages off of the wood line here onto this gold mine. Achieves 2 purposes here. 1, it scouts it out, and 2, he gets more gold for his battle ball. But here's the thing. Tunison at this point doesn't need to go for a killing blow here. Just keep trading off units and he's going to be in a good position to get more battle boar out, potentially even just more villagers onto gold, throw up a market, buy your way to the mythic age. He's got a whole bunch of farms over here in his main base as well. He's in a really, really good position moving forward in this game. But Rapple here, he's about to run out of gold. We'll see what his plan is here he's only really got a handful of heroes here. Do they have funeral rites or are they just unupgraded? They are unupgraded at this point as a market getting dropped here for Tunison. We'll see how things are going to go as the myth units are going to get sniped down fairly fast. You have to focus this Pharaoh down as fast as you possibly can. That is the brunt of the damage to your myth units here. As we see a mountain giant spawn here for Tunison as Rapple is trying to get back onto this gold mine over here as the army, it looks like, is just not here for Tunison at this point. 92 of 115 population here. He's trying to build units out of everything, it would seem, as yes, he is, but he just doesn't have the production here to spend all of his resources and stay populated as Rapple manages to stay alive in this game. And Tunison has to retreat back here. I'm going to pop back onto this healing spring over here as the chariot archers pushing forward. One battle ball does end up falling there. Tunison's battle balls here. He needs to keep these safe somehow. He's not putting any effort into taking out the heroes of Rapple, and Rapple is able to just deal with all of these myth units incredibly easily. And while they are super value to have normally, they're just being absolutely decimated here as Rapple has managed to survive here. He also does get that funeral rites here in this game. He's lost this town center twice in this game, but ready to rebuild it after all is said and done as the village is retreating away from this location as well. As the battle ball does get taken down here, and it looks like Rapple is going to be in a good position moving forward here. As Tunison here is still producing units, but he's just kind of flooding units into their deaths here. As Rapple is able to hold easily enough when all is said and done. Rapple is completely fine in this game. Tunison does finish up on that gold mine. He's got gold up in this top corner here to go to as well, but what can Tunison do now as Rapple has secured his second town center? He's going to move forward and secure his third town center to boot here as another mining camp getting dropped. Rapple going to move his pharaoh back over here to empower the gold mine here. He does have quarry as well. That's absolutely huge for Rapple. That's unexpected. I'm surprised he's got quarry at this point, but his gold is going to start skyrocketing here in this game. As Tunison is completely on the back foot. A market coming up over on this position, trying to get himself out all the units that he needs here. As the house going down. Armory getting taken out as well here. And Tunison's still got that home gold mine here, still pumping out dwarves. Just with the 10 villagers on farms at this point, wouldn't it be a bad idea to just take a couple more villagers off of wood and get some more farms going so he can get some more units pumping out. But I mean, he's still got stuff going. He's got the throwing axeman over here as well. Where is Rapple's army going? It's searching around the map for villagers to pick off, but looks like he's doesn't know where he's going at this point. Sniping down some of those siege towers as well. As we do see the Rapple chariot archer does spot the gold villagers over here. Will Rapple immediately send the chariot archer? Yes, he does. I think he was going to look at this gold mine at some point, where, funnily enough, Tunison was on it, or is on it at the moment, but there's no reason for Tunison to be there. As Rapple now going to send his chariot archers up to the top side of the map. Tunison is there with a handful of Hersa here, excuse me, as the raiding cavalry going to be easily able to pull back and start taking these out. As we do see one villager getting picked off. The dwarves making a move up to the hill fort here to try and defend them. And one of the big advantages of raiding cavalry over chariot archers in the raiding game is that extra speed that the raiding cavalry have. So they're able to chase down those chariot archers incredibly easily here. As the house coming through to take out this location. As now the raiding cavalry kind of dealt with over here. Siege towers coming through onto this position here as well. Now even Rapple has managed to get himself out some spearmen to try and deal with these raiding cavalry. Heavy chariots. It's been a known fact for Norse players for ages that heavy chariots against raiding cavalry, if the raiding cavalry are only medium, the chariot actually trade fairly decently against them. We're also seeing some elephants coming out here as well as the villagers moving forward to try and prevent this town center from going up. But there's already those 3 Hersa on this position getting free favor pool gathering here. This could mean a myth unit spawn here. Valkyrie Frost Giant comes down. It's not going to be enough to really do anything here, but still absolutely huge there. as Rapple is still on the back foot. Now we've got the heavy raiders coming through for Tunison, and he seems like he's managed to kind of quell all of the chaos that's been happening here. He seems like he's in a good position at this point. He's getting this town center up, and it seems to me he will have a 3 town center against 2 town center advantage, potentially a 4 town center versus 2 town center advantage to boot here. And Rapple is going to have to decide if he wants to stay in the heroic age, try and fight it out in the heroic age, or try and get mythic age here and see what's actually going to happen moving forward.
Yo.
As Tunison now pushes back in, he is content with taking these fights now. He's got the heavy infantry as well as the heavy cavalry, so it's going to be a really, really big help for him. He doesn't really have any armory upgrades. Rapple does have himself copper weapons here, which will be a big help, but I think the copper mail here is the bigger technology to be grabbing, as the army is still pushing through 134 population here for Tunison to Rapple, who's sitting at the 136 population very solidly. But Rapple now is out of gold, ladies and gentlemen. He's got no gold remaining, and this gold mine that was over here, that's almost gone, if not actually gone here. It's probably got about 2,000 gold left in it, or 3,000 gold left in it there. So really not a whole lot of help where that's concerned. And maybe Tunison can hold back here. He's going to have... He doesn't really have the production. He does have battle boards coming out. He does have Huskarl coming out. But the elephant moving forward, and Tunison and Rapple, is just walking through here. No cares in the world. Going straight after this gold mine. The Pharaoh in the back is still getting away with so much DPS, as Tunison is not focusing on taking this one down as well. And Rapple has been very cheeky here with the siege tower, utilizing that to keep the Pharaoh alive here in this game. And Tunison is now fallen straight back down to 115 population here, not able to keep Rapple off of this gold mine here. In a really good position here. As the elephant does go down, the battle ball going to start getting taken down as well. How can Tunison repopulate his army here? If he's done this quite a bit, where he's just keeps sending units into the battlefield. But the longer he does this, the more good trades Rapple gets. The closer Rapple gets to like a mythic age, and I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing Rapple starting to float resources moving forward. Does he have irrigation? He does have irrigation, so he's got not only irrigation, but he's also got himself sacred cats. So his food income is going to start coming in really, really nicely here at this point. As Tunison finally realizes it's time to pull back, if he can get up to 160 population with a decent amount of raiding cavalry and Jarls here, he probably shouldn't be making these Huskarl. He probably will be able to win this army or beat this army at this point here. So Rapple does have himself, he does have the idea, right, where he's just going to keep putting pressure and pressure and pressure onto the Norse player here, as it's really tough to kind of rebuild here. Is he building back up here? If he sends one unit back here to just throw down longhouses all in this area to start spending the resources a little bit more efficiently, he should be fine. But now he's starting to get those upgrades through for Rapple. He gets himself heavy axemen here as well. Absolutely huge. This gold mine getting mined out incredibly fast from Rapple. His food is slowly starting to come up here. Does he get himself some more armory upgrades? Yes, he does. He's getting himself well, he's got the heavy axemen for one, but copper mail and all the other good stuff that comes through there as this battle boar does get taken out. And the siege tower slowly going to start taking down this town center to boot here, as Tunison just cannot get popped in this game. One of those little known tricks is you just want to right click on all of your military buildings like this, and you can garrison your units into the town, into the buildings, and then once you hit full population, you can drop them all out at the same time using the eject hotkey. I think it's G by default on Extended Edition. I'm not sure if it's default on Voobly. You might have to pop it in, but if you use the advanced hotkeys editor that is available through Ipit's mod repository, it's G, and it just pops all the units out at once, and then you can win those fights here as the villagers getting pulled off of the gold mine here to help take down this town center. There is no, or I should say, yes, there is no masons here for Tunison here, so he's not going to be able to hold on to this town center as things looking very, very tough here. It's finally starting to get back up to fully populated as the units pulling around onto the back going to try and take out those priests here. As the villagers getting sniped down, the town center will be falling. But is there enough here for Tunison to hold? Now sitting at 140 population. He's got a house on this town center over here. Nothing there to rebuild that town center back up to give himself a population advantage. As the army swings in onto this position here, taking down those units nice and efficiently here. Villagers getting into the fray here for Tunison as well. Rapple sitting very, very comfortably at 146 of 146 population. A frost giant coming through, more units coming through here as the longhouses do come back up on the back there for Tunison to help him out. But the question is, can Rapple stay healthy in these fights, deal with all these myth units and deal with all these units? The answer to me seems to be very much yes. So as Tunison's army just gets absolutely decimated here in this game, and there is not a whole lot he can do any longer here, as he's got so many villagers out, but he just cannot produce the units here to hold on. Whereas Rapple, he is completely fine here. He's building units. This gold line is getting closer and closer to expiring, which actually does mean there is kind of a lose condition here for Rapple. He's got the market up, but he will have to start a trade route here really, really soon. 600 gold left over here. This gold mine over here has got only a little bit of gold left in it. Tunison's gold mine over here has only got 1,500 gold left in it. So if Tunison can kind of hold on here, so to speak, not lose too many villages, retreat back, get this town center up, and he might be able to find himself in a position here where he might be able to win this game. He has started his trade route himself, but the market is in a very, very dodgy position here as the town center is coming up over here. Pharaoh and Priest trying to get in to try and take out that battle boar over there. And we'll see if Tunison's smart enough to use that Migdol stronghold to snipe down the Pharaoh there. It looks like the Pharaoh, you can't snipe it down when it's in a siege tower, but town center just about up for Rapple, and that's going to be a really, really difficult time ahead for Tunison. We'll see what he's going to be able to do to make it work here in this game as the town center is up. Villagers able to come back over onto this gold tier. Trade route starting over here as the barracks getting dropped down here as well to start defending it. As the villagers coming through into the corner here for Tunison to try and take out the market and everything else that's going on. As the gold mine just about to finish up there. This one here, 150 gold left. Rapple has got no gold left in the bank, but he is on full population. Whereas Tunison, he's got plenty of gold, but 100 of 130 population here is not able to get this town center either. As the dwarves are going to start getting taken out. The ox caravans moving forward. Tunison's gold mine over here, 500 gold left remaining. And in that moment, Tunison does tap out here. GG, well played by Rapple in this game. I loved you kind of can go for this second town center. As long as you hold it for long enough, your economy is technically still going to be in front. You can actually look at it in the post game here. Civilian units wise, you can see the town center fell. Let's see where it falls at about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, you can see Rapple is at 38 villages, whereas Tunison is at only 29 villages at that point. So he's only 10 villages in front, which to me, that's really not that big of an advantage when all is said and done. But at the peak of it, 44 villages versus 31 villages ends up actually being a decent advantage. So if you can get that, keep that town center up for long enough, not lose any villages, it's actually completely fine to sack it for just for that sake that fact you have that villager advantage. As long as you don't then lose everything later, it's completely fine. But Tunison found himself in a very advantageous position here. I think he just didn't need to go after the main base here. He just needed to sit back and wait just a little bit. I liked the use of the flaming weapons to kill off the town center after it all, but there was just too much trying to force fights, not sniping heroes. And that allowed Rapple to just keep on dealing with those myth units over and over and over again. Whereas if Tunison could have sniped those heroes, those myth units would have been oppressive for the ISIS to deal with. But he just wasn't able to make it happen here. And Rapple managed to get out of this one with a victory here. GG, well played by Rapple. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.